Good evening, welcome to Blazer's channel. Blaze is having a nap at the moment, and he's got his little baby brother Kahu here. As you can see, Kahu may be a pitbull mix. Not exactly sure what he's mixed with, but my god, these are bloody big paws, you know. Blaze got paws the same size, so, you know, when I got Blaze, he was a bit bigger than Kahu. And his heat got humongous over the last year and a half that I've had him. Now, what we were talking about today here is chewing. So you got a puppy 6 months old or even younger and it loves to chew, right? Instead of smacking your dog and saying bad boy and punishing them for chewing, redirect them with something that they are allowed to chew, like this piece of rubber here. So he was chewing on something else, so I give him this little piece of rubber. This little piece of rubber. This is something that Kahu can chew, and he's not going to get in trouble. So by redirecting them onto something else and not focusing on the bad chewing part, it actually works better in training than punishing them and not giving them an alternative. Because remember, at the end of the day, he's still a little wee baby and he needs something to chew because he's teething. And if you don't want him to chew your furniture, don't want him to chew your belongings, you need to give them something in the alternative that they are allowed to chew. Okay? Preferably something nice and soft like this dog toy that Blaze is completely chewed into pieces. And, you know, we use that as it was initially part of a tug toy. But because he's chewed into so many pieces, now it makes a great chew toy for Kahu, who's going through teething stage now. So, you know, he can chew that as much as he wants, because now he's not going to be chewing something that he shouldn't be chewing, like shoes, you know, possibly power cords, your phone charger cords, your earphones, anything that you don't want him to chew. So I didn't punish him for chewing. Instead, I've given him that to chew. Instead, Kahu, here you go, chew this instead. Now he's chewing that. If I see him chew something that he shouldn't do, I give him that to chew. So he knows that is for him to chew when he needs to chew, not something that he shouldn't be chewing. So it becomes his comfort, like one of those little pacifier for baby. This is like his pacifier. It works. It helps with his teething, and I don't get my stuff chewed up by him. Because I mean, Blaze, when he was Kahu's age, went through a few pairs of shoes, but he's never chewed up furniture. Because like what I'm doing with Kahu here, I didn't punish him for chewing. Instead, I gave him alternative stuff to chew. So he's not punished for chewing for chewing, but I've given him something to put his mind to, and he still get his needs fulfilled, and I get my need fulfilled of not having him chewing my stuff. And we have a great bond together because I don't tell him off. I just give him something else to do, and he's just as happy, if not happier. When you punish a dog, you sort of cut a little bit into your bond with them. Like, you know, they are like, oh, okay, what a stink guy. You know, he's telling me off. But if you rethink it and how you do it the other way, it becomes a positive association between me and him. Oh, Dad's not telling me off, he's giving me something else, so I am allowed to choose sweet. So from now on, I'm going to chew that because that's what Dad wants me to chew. And he's just as a quick learner because being a Prince Canario, they are designed to think on their own if the master's not around to give them instructions. So back in Canary Island, where his breeds originated from, his job was to be a catch dog or to protect the livestock against predators and poachers while the owner or the farmer is nodding off sleeping with his family in the middle of the night. And, you know, some places have coyotes and all sorts coming through, and it's his job, him and how many others there are living with him to do that job, and they coordinate on taking down the predator so the livestock are protected. So they're designed to think on their own. And if you get one of these dogs and you don't know how to be the leader, they will think on their own very quickly and take over the job as the leader of the house. And once they get to this size and you don't have control, you're screwed, man. You're screwed. Absolutely screwed. So, we got a little Kahu here, and it's my job to make sure he ends up like Blaze and not be screwed. And he is also a very quick learner. He's a very quick learner. I've had him for 2 weeks of me being with him bonding, and he's actually doing really well. He's no longer on the prong collar because he's no longer pulling anymore. So I've got that fixed in a week, and so I can walk him with just a retractable leash on his normal collar, and whether have him free leash walking along with Blaze. Blaze still has to have his prong collar because sometimes if he sees something that I haven't quite prepared him for, and he got curious and he goes for it, I'm going with him, and it's a very quick jerk, and I get thrown down by his sheer power. He's 65 kilos now. I'm no much heavier or lighter than him, so if he wants to pull me down, he can easily do that. So I have to have him on the prong collar, but I can also have him off leash. But then people get scared when they see a dog this size fucking off leash because a lot of people are not used to dogs this size in our area. He's probably one of the biggest dogs most people have seen because him being a pit bull is quite common. We see a lot of those and a lot of border collies, but majority are tiny little dogs. So most people are used to tiny little dogs, not 65 to 67 kilo mastiff that when they open their mouths could literally swallow their tiny little dog in one go. And when they see one of these ones face on, they think that and what the last thing they saw on the media about these breeds. But really, he is a very, very good dog. He's a very, very good dog. He lives with 3 kids with another one added to it. So he's used to around being kids. And when I got him, he was also living with his family. So I adopted him from his mum. And now I'm helping her to make sure that he is just as good as him. So that she doesn't need to worry about her kids with the dog. And because she absolutely loves him, she loves him to bits, just like she loves Blaze. But at the time, Blaze was not suitable for her to keep, so she gave him up, and I saw him, and I fell in love with him, and I kept him. With the promise that I keep her updated all the time on his progress. And I've been doing that for the last year and a half, and now she's in a better situation. She's got Kahu, which is just as a sweet dog as Blaze, and I'm taking him out every day so that Blaze has a little buddy to hang out with, because usually he doesn't like boy dogs, but in Kahu's case, he absolutely loves him. He loves him. He also puts him in his place. He shows him the ropes, and I don't really have to do much to train Kahu. I just let him follow Blaze, and basically, when he sees me correcting Blaze, he knows that if he does that, he's going to get the same correction. So, he doesn't really get much correction at all because he just realized that, okay, if Blaze does that, he gets corrected. So, if I don't want to get corrected, I don't do what he just did. And he checks on me a lot more than he does on the leash. He's on a mission when he's on a leash. Kahu stands right next to me and generally checks on me. So, to have that sort of bond with him and have that sort of engagement from Kahu within 2 weeks, I'm absolutely stoked. Now he is having his little bit of his own personal space on that mattress. When I had Bella, that's Bella's old mattress, and Bella is basically a female version of Kahu. That was my first dog. I missed her so much, but Kahu just reminds me of Bella in almost every way. That's my old Bella. And then that's how she ended up. So yeah, still got a little bit of a red nose, but not that much. But she was also a really good dog. She was never on a leash, ever. She was off leash her whole entire life, because I had her since the 5-week-old puppy, and she never ran away. She was really bonded to us, so we didn't need to put her on a leash. She was very friendly with all the dogs, never attacked anything. She was just a really, really chilled out, lax dog. And Kahu is also just like that. So, you know, his owner is very good at picking the right dogs. If I ever need another dog, I will go see her to get her to pick me another dog, because she knows what she's doing. Well, anyway, thanks for tuning in. Sorry this video is a little bit long. Have a good night.